Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Timeout with Makali. With yours truly, the one and only, the host, the entertainment, the number one person on this show, Makali Pennycook, coming back at you with another episode of Timeout with Makali. Um, Episodes coming out weekly now. I was on a little bit sabbatical. I was dealing with some sickness and a little bit of other stuff around life. But nonetheless, we're back, and the Super Bowl is here. Not literally here tomorrow. The Super Bowl is tomorrow. The Kansas City Chiefs are playing the San Francisco 49ers, the biggest game of the year is here. And honestly, guys, I just can't wait for this game to kick off tomorrow. I know a lot of people are. It's in Viva Las Vegas, Nevada. It's first ever Super Bowl, and really the first Super Bowl in Vegas in Allegiant Stadium, with many more Super Bowls to come in Las Vegas for sure. Honestly, there's so many storylines with this game, and who we'll talk about who I think is going to win, who will come out the losing side of this. And other things in other aspects of this. And we'll discuss some other current events and here and that. But I want to speak about tomorrow's big game. So the Brock Purdy led 49ers are playing against the Patrick Mahomes led Chiefs. And honestly, guys, this is going to be a fantastic game. For one, this is, for me personally, I know everybody's been talking about how it's a lose lose situation. For everyone, for a lose lose situation for everyone, because they obviously wanted the Ravens and Lions to win. Me personally, I didn't. I thought the Chiefs and 49ers was the best possible matchup, but it's honestly a lose lose situation for me because I myself am an Eagles fan, and one, I don't like the 49ers. I don't like their players. So yeah, I mean I can tolerate some of their players. Like I don't hate George Kittle. I think George Kittle's a phenomenal person. I don't hate Brock Purdy. I don't hate CMC, but there's just a few 49ers players I don't like, including Trent Williams. Trent Williams, I cannot. Let me tell you something. I hate Trent Williams. He's the only player that I think in the personal NFL world, I don't like Trent Williams. Let me tell you why I don't like Trent Williams. He is he thinks he's so tough, but he's not. Cause just because you play left tackle, just because you're going to be a Hall of Famer one day, doesn't mean that you're a tough dude. When I was watching the Niners versus the Lions, he costed them. They didn't even the 49ers haven't even had a snap yet. He costed them 15 yards because he's pushing the Lions players while they're trying to rile him up, and he pushes them, costs his team 50 yards, 15 yards, and trying to come back in a win or die game. If I was the coach, offensive line coach, if I was the head coach, I would have been screaming at him. I don't care that you're 35 and you're almost a Hall of Fame type left tackle. Use your head, bro. Um, I don't like Trent Williams, Nick Bosa. I kind of have a love. It's a little bit love hate. I think he's alright, but some of the it's just some of the antics some of the stuff he says I don't like either. Um, some of their players just talk. They just talk too much. They think they're all that. Debo, I like Debo as a player. I don't like him as a person. I think he talks too much too. He talks too much. He thinks he's like the number one player in the world, and he's just not. I like him as a player, as a football player. I like Debo Samuel. I like his play style. Off the field, he's just so irritable, man. He's so irritable. But I want to talk about a guy who's been getting so much hate lately. That just bothers me. Brock Purdy does not deserve what he's been getting, ladies and gentlemen. Cam Newton, on his podcast, Fourth and One, um, he said that he's been saying this for a while now that Brock Purdy is a game manager, nothing more, nothing less. He is a game manager, not a game changer. And honestly, he thinks he's a game manager because he has resources around him. Now, the average person who doesn't know what a game managing quarterback is, to put it in perspective, it's like somebody driving a car, leading the operation of driving the car, but you have three other people telling you what to do, and three other people maintaining telling you what to do, and telling you how to operate the car. Um, Now, the game manager term has been used as a derogatory term to label a quarterback. Like when you label a guy a game manager, it just sounds very derogatory. But in honestly, um, every person has to understand that every NFL quarterback is a game manager. Every quarterback is a game manager in the NFL. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, even down to the below average guys. They're all game managers. There's a system that has to be run. There's calls that have had to be made. There's reads where you have to throw it to. Every quarterback's a game manager, guys. Joe Burrow, even he even yeah, he's a game man. Like if you don't know how to operate the system, you don't know how to operate the offense and the system the right way and do it well, dude, you're going to suck. You're going to suck. That's just facts. Every quarterback in the National Football League is game manager. You don't think Patrick Mahomes in that second half against the AFC Championship game, he wasn't a game manager? They didn't score. They just punted the ball to the Ravens deep inside their 20 every time, let their defense do the thing, and Mahomes closed it at the end. That's that's a game manager right there. But I digress. I'm just trying to say that every quarterback is a game manager because you have to operate the system well. There's coaches who call plays and guys who have to be open and this, that, and the other. Now, to Cam's point, I think I think everybody's misinterpreting what he's really trying to say and what he's even him saying himself. I think Cam Newton is saying that Brock Purdy is not good without his weapons. That's what I'm taking from this situation and what he's saying. He thinks that Brock Purdy isn't good without his weapons. It's not about the game manager or the game changer or any of that term. It's really about he doesn't think that Brock Purdy is good enough without his weapons. He went on First Take on Friday. Molly Queer asked him the question, Cam, do you think that Brock Purdy can lead a game-winning drive in the Super Bowl? Do you trust him? That's what she said. She says, do you trust Brock Purdy to lead a game-winning drive in the Super Bowl? He said he didn't even answer the question. He said, I trust his resources because they have great players on the offensive side of the ball. That's what he said. He trusts his resources. He doesn't trust Brock Purdy. He trusts those resources. Now, I at this point I completely disagree with Cam, and I think honestly there may be some he's throwing this the wrong way because maybe Cam is a little bit jealous. One can say he's jealous. Typically, the average white quarterback doesn't get this much backlash all the time. Um, but maybe he could be jealous that some. I think he may be jealous that some random guy from the seventh round, last pick of the draft from Iowa State, from Arizona, went to high school in Arizona, went to a Big 12 school, was the last pick of the draft, came in, the third string quarterback, and took over the job and never gave it back. And everybody thinks he had phenomenal seasons back to back. Rookie year, NFC Championship game. This year, Super Bowl. A guy from the seventh round shouldn't have that type of success. Now, maybe that's what I'm alluding to with Cam and his Jealousy because Cam, I think his success as a first round draft pick, as a first overall draft pick, he was he had a lot of expectations on him, and he had a really good first few years. What was he drafted 2011, 2012? He had those few years that he had were amazing. Obviously, that 2015-16 year, that MVP season was glorious. It was they went 15-1. They went to the Super Bowl and he had that blunder, absolute blunder. Didn't reach for the ball when he fumbled. That obviously changed the game right there. That's why they lost. And then after that, he just never recovered from that Super Bowl loss. Just never recovered. I mean, it went to the playoffs 1 year after that, but he just couldn't recover. And obviously, he had too many injuries to his shoulder, to his ribs, and then was shipped off to. He signed with the Patriots, and that situation wasn't that great either. They won like 6 or 7 games. Then signed it with a short stint with Carolina, and that was bad too. It's just I mean, he just hasn't been in the league since. I mean, I think Cam is just. I think this is kind of jealousy, a little bit towards jealousy, but I mean, he's doing great with his podcast, Fourth and One and Freaky Funky Friday. I think honestly, me personally, I think it's just a little bit jealousy. Brock Purdy is a great quarterback. Borderline, he had a borderline elite quarterback, elite year this year. 4,000 plus passing yards. If you're breaking records, 49er passing records with guys like Joe Montana and Steve Young, you're breaking those guys' records. You had a pretty good year. You're not just a game manager quarterback. Now, for the 49ers in the Super Bowl game, I can't remember what I'm saying. After saying all that, if they want to win this game, they have to win it by Brock Purdy being a game managing quarterback. Um, I think the 49ers defense is absolutely horrible. I don't think it's that good. Now, watching these last 2 weeks in these games, the 49ers defense just does not look the same as we've all seen before. Um, as we've seen previously, even previously in the season, and even last year, the last 2 weeks, their defense has looked awful, bad. You could say the rain and this and the other with the Packers game, but Jordan Love had his way. He had his way with those young receivers. Seemed like every passing play they were getting at least 7, 8 yards. He was torching them, Jordan Love. Um, he doesn't make that decision right there. Who's to say they couldn't have won the game? Um, and I just think that I think that the 49ers defense isn't that good enough as we've seen in the previous Super Bowl that they played, and also what they've shown us the past couple of weeks. The run defense is awful. It's not good. Chase Young, he has no effort on that edge. He has no effort on the edge. Nick Bosa is probably the only bright spot. Now, if the 49ers defensive line if they can't get home to Mahomes, they can't get to Mahomes at all this game, it's gonna be rough because I think that secondary is not that good either. I don't think that secondary is good at all. At all. I don't think the secondary is good at all. They can't tackle either. Pitch plays. I was watching some of the film of the past 3 games that they played. The pitch play to the running back has destroyed them. Has destroyed the Niners. Gibbs and Jones killed them on the pitch plays. Absolutely killed them. The Lions gave them that game with all the drop passes and the drop pick and Dan Campbell's stupid decision on that fourth down to go for it instead of kicking the field goal. If the 49ers want to win this game, they got to win it through their offense. They have to win it through their offense. If they want to win tomorrow's game, they got to win it through their offense. I think that defense is awful. I really do. I really do. Their their front seven, 49ers front seven with their D line and their two linebackers, they've kind of stabled the pressure because I don't think if the Chiefs can neutralize it, ooh, because I know Andy Reid was watching this and he was busting his chops watching their past couple of games because the front seven has really Greenlaw and Warner has really amplifies that defense. But if they can't get there like they've had in these past 2 weeks, it could get dark for them. It can. It can. It can get really, really dark. I think that if they want to win this game, it has to be through their offense. It has to be through their offense. Brock has to play a clean game. They got. I think McCaffrey. If they win, I think McCaffrey will be the MVP. McCaffrey is just they gotta give him the ball every play. Give him they have to make sure he touches the ball somehow every play. Every play. Every play. They have Debo. He's an absolute weapon. Ayuk's just a dog, and Kittle obviously he's a dog too. And Trent Williams, you know what I'm saying? Like they gotta win through their offense. If they can't win through their offense, it could get dark. Defensively, we already discussed them. That's kind of their weakness, and their weakness is also. I'm a little bit worried with their offensive line against the Chiefs' defensive line because the Chiefs' defense. I've watched a few Chiefs games this year. That defensive line comes to play. They come to play. They come to hunt. They come to hunt. Karlaftis and I know Amen he was out. Chris Jones and those guys. They come to play. They come to play. They really, really come to play. Um, so I think that the 49ers offensive line outside of just it's rough. Outside of Trent Williams is rough, but they got went through their offense. Now for the Chiefs, now I'm talking about the Chiefs here. This we could be in unprecedented history right now. So I'm just turning on my camera right here with the Kansas City Chiefs. This is their fourth Super Bowl appearance in the last 5 years. They've been to six AFC championship games. Absolutely domination of the American Football League Conference. I mean, just this is we're right now entering a stage of the GOAT conversation with Patrick Mahomes. If this guy can win his third Super Bowl back to back years, where do you rank him? For me, I think it's already two. He'll be the only quarterback. He'll be the quarterback to go back to back Super Bowls since Tom Brady. He'll be an elite category like he already is, with multiple championships, multiple MVPs, multiple Super Bowl MVPs. So only Tom Brady and Joe Montana. He'll be the undisputed. I think honestly, he's the most talented quarterback I've ever seen. Tom Brady accomplished a lot more. Patrick Mahomes was more talented. Let's get that out of the way. Why is it so hot? He'll be already the most accomplished quarterback we've seen in a while, Patrick Mahomes. And I'm running out of words to say from Patrick Mahomes. Even when they're at their worst, and they were this year, they really were. They led the league in drops this year as a receiver group. Their offense was struggling. Um, and they just absolutely overcame that over adversity and just went on the road this year. Patrick Mahomes has never gone on the road in a playoff game before. That was the only thing left to say about his career. And he came into Buffalo, came into Baltimore, both hostile environments, and won. What do we have to say at this point? I'm running out of words. I really am. Um, if he wins his Super Bowl, I would put him at two. He's got a long way to go to Brady, but I would put him at two. I put him at two. I would put him at two. I haven't seen this dominant of a stretch from a quarterback in years since Brady, actually. I I don't know. I just running out of words to say about this guy. And when you have him, you ultimately have a chance to win any football game. You need one drive, one game. He can give it to you. That's why I think the Chiefs have a legitimate shot to win this game because they have Patrick Mahomes. And when you have Patrick Mahomes, a Hall of Fame tight end, the best tight end in National Football League history, yes, he's better than Gronkowski. Argue with the wall. There hasn't been a quarterback. There hasn't been name me another person who has name me another person who has broken Jerry Rice's all-time postseason catch record. He's the greatest tight end in National Football League history. He's a top three receiver. Sorry, not top three. He's a top two receiver in postseason history. Guys, yes, he is. He's the GOAT tight end. If he wins this one, he's locked it up. I'm not gonna talk about with him and T Swift. It's not my business, but I know she's gonna be there and they're gonna be showing her a lot. So, guys, fellas, let's be prepared. And the ladies who are watching the show, yes, she's gonna be there. You know, when you guys when you with the guys, just making sure, just letting y'all know that we know she's there. Okay, you don't have to show. You don't have to tell me that she's there. We know she's there. Okay, but it's. I mean, they're gonna be making run of you off of her no matter what. That's just my main issue. That's just my name focus there. Moving on. When you have also Andy Reid and Spagnuolo, you have any chance of winning the game. So that's why I think that the Chiefs ultimately have a chance of winning this game because I think that when you have those guys, you have a chance. Now, this team has honestly looked a bit worse from their previous Super Bowl and AFC Championship teams. Um, they're down tuning. Pacheco runs really, really. I love Pacheco so much. New Jersey kid, Rutgers guy. I love Pacheco. I think he's a dog. Their receivers have played better than what they've been playing like in the regular season. I know MVS made that great catch to seal it. How poetic is that, right? Um, their guys have just been playing better. They've been playing a lot better. And defensively, I think this is their best chance of winning. I think their chance of winning the game is also on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, that secondary, Sneed and Duffy, Justin Reed too. He good, but Sneed and Duffy, oh my gosh, those guys are like Sneed and Duffy. Those guys are elite. They're elite. Don't sleep on the yeah. Those guys are elite. McDuffie will be on Debo the whole game in the slot. I know that's for sure. And Sneed will be on whoever's. Ayuk, probably Ayuk. Those guys play well. Their linebackers have been playing well. The defensive line will show up. Spagnuolo will show up. He'll probably send the blitz. But the problem is the Chiefs' run defense isn't that great. It's not. So I expect a lot of 49ers carries with McCaffrey. But if the foreign Chiefs want to stack the box, Shanahan wants you to stack the box. You stack the box, you're going to play action. Yeah. But this game is going to be one. If the Chiefs want to win this game, I think they've been here so many times. So we can expect what we can expect. Mahomes to do his thing. And their defense to play well. Their defense can play well. I think they're going to win this game. Now, for the final game predictions for this game, give me the Kansas City Chiefs 27-21. They win the Super Bowl. They're third in this run that ever since Mahomes been the starter. First team to go back to back since '07. The Patriots, when the Patriots did it, or '06, '07, one of those years. Or '05, '06, one of those years. Um, They beat the 49ers. They send the 49ers packing, going home with another emptyless ring. Taylor Swift will be on the field. My Super Bowl MVP predictions. Give me Mahomes again. And for my Gatorade color, I think it's going to be orange. Yeah. No, it's going to be blue. It's going to be blue. It's going to be blue. My MVP is going to be Mahomes. My prediction will be 27-21. And yeah, in Vegas, I think Usher's first song, his halftime song, his first song will be Yeah. His first song will be Yeah. And yes, this was kind of a short episode because I wanted to speak about the Super Bowl and kind of give this short little episode to talk about myself. Honestly, guys, I haven't been recording and posting a lot because I have been sick, dealing with a nasty cold before this episode came out, and dealing with some other stuff, college for me and stuff like that. But I want to keeping this posted. Obviously, there'll be an episode after the Super Bowl, maybe even live, maybe even the last episode to talk about my thoughts about the game. We shall see. I will see you guys later. Who you guys think is winning the game?